Hello friends, how are you? Camilo here, one half of Work with Chris and Camilo, and today we're going to talk about cracking the internet network marketing code so that we can actually leverage the internet to build our network marketing businesses without actually letting the internet kill our businesses. What a concept, right? Because quite frankly, that's what's happening out there. We see it all the time. We've been a victim of it. We've run the gamut now based on our personal experience, and we know now that continuous exposure to internet marketing hype definitely comes with some very serious side effects, most notably lack of common sense, completely unrealistic expectations, false hopes, no mindset. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy because, quite frankly, that's what marketing does. It pulls at your emotional strings and compels you to take action. We're able to influence decisions based on how we write our copy, but in the process, I think there's a lot of really good people out there who want to pull their hair out once they start getting into it. They're completely overwhelmed, and frankly, the internet is driving them into complete insanity. And part of the reason, well, I shouldn't say part of the reason for that is, well, this is how it feels for a lot of you, right? I mean, every 27 seconds, there's a new product launch. If you're not doing this thing, you're missing out. Why aren't you using YouTube pay-per-click? I didn't even know there was YouTube pay-per-click. What the... Well, you know what. I mean, seriously, guys, tribe syndication, product launches, LinkedIn marketing, YouTube marketing, Twitter marketing, Facebook marketing, article marketing, SEO, blogging, keyword research, pay-per-click, opt-in offers, viral URL, lead generation funnels, solo ads. Come on. This is not duplicable, guys. You can't build a downline, okay, that's going to stick with you if you're asking them to do all of this when you bring them into the business. It's impossible. It's completely overwhelming, and it'll actually absolutely destroy any chance you have of duplication and building a nice residual income. On the other hand, internet marketing, it does kind of rock, but only when you learn how to use it correctly. See, when you do it the right way, yes, you can wake up in the morning and find leads in your inbox. You can generate some multiple streams of income through affiliate sales, and that's nice because, you know, we are not generating thousands of dollars every month in affiliate sales, but, you know, it's nice to know that we have some money coming in to fund our pay-per-click budget or help us purchase some tools, maybe some more training. Okay, that's what the funded proposal was for originally. At some point, people just got enamored with the idea of just creating all this autopilot money without talking to anyone, and now you went from a network marketer to just someone who wants to basically hide behind a computer. And that's the problem that the traditional network marketer has with the internet. They feel that it's a load of crap. People are distracted. Not a lot of people are making money with it. And in the meantime, the network marketing industry, the business, is not growing because people are constantly flocking to the internet thinking it's a magic pill. However, when you do it the right way, it certainly does what it says it will do. And you actually can build relationships. You can monetize some of the people that say no to your business and ultimately recruit people into your business. Okay, so we've been through the gamut. We've seen it work now. But now we're faced with the next problem, which is, well, how do we get our team to duplicate? And based on what I just told you, that's going to be really hard unless we find the right balance. Because if you don't find the right balance, then internet marketing becomes a full-time job. And instead of getting on the phone, building relationships, putting people in front of a presentation to convert them into a rep, okay, a business partner, you're basically spending your entire time watching training videos, following the next big thing, making sure you're on that Wednesday night webinar to hear what the next guru has to say is what's working now, yada, yada, yada. The bottom line, guys, is network marketing has always been about simplicity and duplication and will always be about that. So if you don't have a sort of assembly line mentality or system where you can plug people in and say, just do this consistently, and you simplify their lives so they can do it, okay, easily with their eyes closed, you're not going to be able to succeed in this industry. Okay, this is something that we have learned now the hard way, and we are correcting it because we understand that it's not how many people we bring in, it's how many people we develop. And you don't need to develop a gazillion of them. You need to find a very small handful of people to be successful in this industry. All right? The truth of the matter is internet marketing just isn't duplicable, guys. 2 plus 2 does not equal 4. However, that does not mean you should not use the internet to build your business. It is too powerful a tool, too amazing a platform to ignore. And quite frankly, it's not going anywhere. You see what social media has done to our social economic landscape So why not use it? Instead of being afraid of it, concerned about its potential to distract and destroy your business, why not instead focus on how to simplify it so that you still can use it effectively to build a business? And that's what we're going to talk about next. All right? We have a simple 3-step approach or philosophy that we want to share with you guys to get this done, to simplify your life. And number 1 is know your numbers, guys. I know it sounds stupid and obvious, but know your numbers and know them well. If you want to generate $60,000 a year residual income, then you know you have to generate $5,000 a month, right? If you want to just equalize it. So how does your compensation plan allow you to get there? How many active autoships do you need to have to generate that kind of income? How many personally recruited people would you have to bring in on a monthly basis to help you, make up the difference if you're not quite there on the residual end, right? But you got to know your numbers, guys. It's like going to a specific destination, right? You always consult the map first if you've never been there, or you punch in the directions in the GPS. You don't just take off. Well, it's the same thing. You got to understand your numbers, and you have to understand how to get there the easiest way possible. All right. Next thing is master 1 or 2 killer marketing strategies that you can absolutely dominate. You master them like a ninja, and you are able now to teach this to anyone with ease. And this is very important, because if you can't make it if you can't find something that's easy or fast, then this doesn't work. Okay, this is really imperative. It's got to be something that anybody can do. All right, and there are a ton of different marketing strategies online that you can leverage, but you have to find one that's easy for everyone and one that works fast, because if you don't put a check in someone's hand within the first 30, 60, 90 days, they're gone. Third, but not least, get rid of everything you don't need. Remember, simplify, simplify, simplify. Got to be something that everybody can do without distractions. And if you start plugging people in right away to all the things that my Lead System Pro has to offer, and I love Lead System Pro, I use it, I recommend it, but in doses, okay, and with the right coach. But if you start plugging people constantly into new strategies and new this, and now you got to learn how to do a blog, and now you got to learn how to brand yourself, and now you got to learn how to do article marketing, you're going to lose people. Again, you don't need to market with every possible marketing outlet out there. I know people who spend $20,000, $30,000 in education and tools and still can't produce a consistent 5 leads per day. That's crazy, if not downright stupid. So keep it simple, guys. At the end of the day, you don't need a gazillion leads to be successful, unless you do want to make a lot of money with affiliate sales. Then you do need a gazillion leads, right? But you don't need a gazillion leads to build your network marketing business. You need enough to get the job done, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. All right, you don't need every tool under the sun. You certainly don't need every marketing course known to man, and I'm not advocating that you don't continue to expand your knowledge base. That's obviously the easiest and best way to increase your personal value, okay, and increase your personal brand's value. But you don't need to spend every day learning something new, okay? It's a distraction. That's for later, when you have the time to do that, because you're making money from leveraged effort. Right? And last but not least, you don't need to recruit the entire world. Horizontal growth this way, okay, because you're personal recruiting, is great because you control your paycheck. You're putting money in your own pocket. But growth vertically, okay, organic vertical growth is much better because that's leveraged. That's your team duplicating, and that's ultimately what you want. Some of the most successful network marketers have built fortunes personally recruiting no more than 10, 15, 17 people themselves. So the better skill to have is the ability to develop leaders, not your ability to be such a great salesperson that you can recruit anyone you want at will. Just because you're the #1 recruiter in a company doesn't mean you're the #1 earner. So remember, much more valuable to develop and organize people than to be able to bring people in at will. All right? At the end of the day, guys, plant the seed and be patient. You really can do this in 6 to 12 months if you just plant your seed, water it, give it some sun, and just wait for this thing to work the way it's supposed to work. See, this is very much like compound interest. You start with $1,000, you reinvest the interest back into the principal every month, maybe you put an extra $100 every month, and next thing you know, 20, 30 years later, you've got a boatload of cash. In internet marketing, it's the same thing, except it happens a lot quicker. That first month, and we'll show you how to do this in a second, okay? The first month, nothing to brag about. Second month, nothing to brag about. Third month, nothing to brag about. You're not jumping for joy naked in the street in euphoria. But by month 6, month 9, now it's starting to really get hot. Month 12, if you do things the right way, depending on how your compensation plan is set up, you could potentially be banking a very nice six-figure income. Okay? So let's look at this from a practical perspective. In our compensation plan, and yes, this is my shameless plug, okay, but I'm going to use mine because it's really simple and illustrates my point very well. Okay, we have a binary. That means you build two legs. We bring in one person on the right, one person on the left, and that's it. It unlocks every bonus in the company, and we get paid for those personal recruits, for their and for for the people that they bring in, and then there are some other bonuses. All right, but I want to show you the power of looking at this thing from a simplicity perspective over the much touted quantity perspective that the internet is pushing on us. Right? Let's say I start, okay, and my first 30 days I focus on one simple task, and that's find my two people. I go out and find Ben and Mary. Month 2, starting on day 31, let's say, I say to Ben and Mary, now let's work together to get you to find just two people. Ben goes out, finds Scott and Jane. Mary goes out, finds Rich and Julie. What are we going to do month 3? Okay, Scott, Jane, Rich, Julie. Let's spend the next 30 days finding two people that are like-minded and want the same things that you want. And when you start doing this over and over and over, remember you're building two legs. Everyone starts to do the same thing. By the time you start duplicating this process over the course of 12 months, you end up with almost 5,000 reps in each one of those legs. Okay, for us, that translates into a $153,000 plus payday in commissions throughout the course of those 12 months because it triggers a ton of cycles and bonuses that we're not going to get into, but that equates to over $150,000 my first 12 months. Bingo, I just generated 6 figures through a very simple plan. That simple plan also allowed me to build my residual income to the tune of $17,000 a month. Okay? Not bad for a simple process of duplication over the course of 6 to 12 months. Okay? 6 months if you decide to do every step in 2 weeks. 12 months if you decide to take 30 days to find your two and help two find two and help two find two. So plug in your compensation numbers, figure out the math, and discover how can you get to where you want to get by the numbers. Figure out what it's going to take. And then find the easiest and simplest way to get it done. Because the point we're trying to make here, guys, is I just showed you how to get to a 6-figure income without recruiting the entire planet or generating a gazillion leads every single day. Maybe when I say generate enough leads to get the job done, maybe you just need to generate enough leads to talk to enough people where the law of averages kicks into place and says, okay, I talked to 100 people and I was able to get 5 reps, right? So maybe it's okay that you don't generate 100 leads in a day. Maybe it's okay that it takes you 30 days to generate 100. At the end of 30 days, you still got your 3, you still got your 4 reps. Isn't that what this whole thing is about? Can you now show those 4 people how to take 30 days to do the same thing you did to generate 100 leads and talk to that many people and bring in 2, 3 reps? That's where your focus should be. You should be leveraging something like Facebook pay-per-click, which is one of our preferred methods of generating leads because it's instant, it's fast, and it works. Relatively inexpensive. This particular page, guys, converted at 22.4%, put 15, 20 leads in our pocket in a, on a very modest $20 per day budget. This is something anyone can do. Anyone can copy and paste my page, set up their ad, run it, and generate leads. Or I can set up a co-op and ask everyone to pitch in 30, 40, 50 bucks a month. And now I can manage the campaign, and we can distribute leads amongst the team, and everyone has phone numbers to call, connect with, put people in front of a presentation, and get their 2, 3. And if everybody commits to that, then over the course of time, we're all going to do very well. Craigslist is another great place to go, but you got to know what you're doing. If you don't know how to market on Craigslist, you're going to get your ads ghosted, your IPs banned, you're going to get flagged, and the hoops you're going to have to jump to get around these issues are going to cost you to quit. But if you stop thinking about quantity and think about simplicity and efficiency instead, and you say, okay, I've got this one ad that gets me 3, 4, maybe 5 leads a day. I'm going to run this one ad for 30 days, once a day. That's 150 leads in 30 days. You think you might find some business partners? You think everybody that you bring into the business can do that? Yes. But if you start getting greedy with, well, I'm going to post in 10 cities because I can turn that 5 leads per day into 40, and there are people that do that successfully on Craigslist, then you start making it more difficult for everybody else to follow in your footsteps, and the whole thing starts to crack and fall apart. So guys, I hope you see the value in this. I hope you understand that we're not here to advocate don't use the internet. We're just kind of sick and tired of seeing people get into this thing with no results. We've been through the euphoria of figuring it out, the realizing that not a lot of people can actually duplicate all the work and commitment that's involved in building a footprint. Okay, they don't realize how much work, and there's a lot of people who would commit to it, but probably would have been better off knowing ahead of time what it was going to take. And we're here to basically, we don't want to ruffle feathers, we don't want to take anybody off, but at the same time, we want to help as many people as possible. We want to bring some perspective, because the truth of the matter is that we do a lot of the internet marketing stuff that we're telling you not to focus on at first, because we focused on those things starting out, and it derailed us. Now we're in a position where we can do those things because we have a footprint, a foundation in place. You should be working on those things, but you shouldn't be working on those things if it's going to keep you from making money from your network marketing opportunity. Because remember, it was the income that the network marketing opportunity is capable of providing that attracted you to the industry. It's that freedom that that income is going to afford you that made you think, I want to do this, right? And so you were originally always intending to make your money there. So you came to the internet to figure out how to generate leads to get more people into that network marketing business that's going to pay you. But instead, we get distracted with, well, why not make money here instead and do all this content creation so that we can just make money without talking to anyone. So you got to understand what it is that you want. You got to get specific, and then you have to get really, really, really simple. Does that make sense, guys? I hope it did. I thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us. If you have any questions whatsoever, if you want to leave some feedback, go on over to workwithchrisandcamilo.com. If you have any questions about, pay-per-click or how to really get this plan in action for you, and if you just want our help helping you grow your business and, manifest wealth and prosperity in the next 6 to 12 months, we got a pretty good blueprint that's working well, and we'd be happy and glad to share it with you. Thanks very much, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.